The City of Dublin Natural Gas provides the most cost-efficient source of energy available today. So for your home, choose the most natural resource. Safe, clean, efficient. All new subdivisions around the Dublin area have natural gas available. Start reducing your energy bills today with Dublin City Natural Gas Department. Natural gas, the smart choice. Call 277-5048 today and let us help you start saving today.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound guided injections now, and physical therapy, and just a little bit better space. So hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
In today's health insurance landscape, you've probably been involved in many discussions, and some of the information you've heard may not be true. I'm Darren Keene with Clements & Keene Insurance, and we want to help you know the facts before you make a decision. Many people believe that their doctor or hospital may not take the plan that they get. We help you find the plan that has the highest level of doctor and hospital participation in your county. We're appointed with all the major carriers on the individual marketplace. Please give us a call today at 478-272-8019.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to be here today with my dear friend Jeremy Blackstock, headmaster at Trinity Christian School, and been a while since we talked. I wanted to get together with you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
tax time.
It is.
And you're saying, what are you talking about, James? What are you doing out at Trinity with the headmaster at tax time? Well, Jeremy don't do taxes. Maybe he does his own, I don't know.
Yes.
But I want to talk about the goals program. This is a wonderful program. And don't tune us out. You say, well, my kids go to West Lawrence, East Lawrence, Dublin, whatever. Don't tune us out till you hear. We got some really good information. So hang with us just a few minutes. We're going to bring you along with us here. But first of all, share with our viewers what the GOLD program is.
Well, the Georgia Gold program, a lot of states have voucher programs or state scholarship programs, but Georgia Gold the state gives you the opportunity to redirect some of your tax money to a private school. And it really could be any private school in the state. And you could live anywhere in the state, we talked about, and redirect your money to Trinity Christian. And my parents live in Augusta, and they can redirect some tax money to, or some of their state money to Trinity Christian School. And it really comes down to, we feel that if a parent wants Christian education as an option for their child, we want to find a way to make it affordable. And there is a misconception that it's just for high school kids, it's just for kids that excel at athletics. That's not the case. We have students from K4 up to 12th grade that are on this program. We have over 100 students that are receiving some sort of goal money. And we're not tying it to any achievement that student has, but it's what their family qualifies for. That it doesn't eliminate the financial burden of Trinity, but it helps ease the burden for a family. And that's what we want for families. Like, you may choose to have your child at another school. Wherever God leads your family, that's fantastic. But if you choose Trinity Christian, we want to find ways to make it affordable for your family. And Georgia Gold program is a blessing, because there's a lot of Christian schools in the state of Georgia that use this program to help their families. And that is the purpose. Yeah. It's just to help families, to give them the opportunity to come to Trinity Christian School. Even if they get 5% or 10%, it helps. Every little bit helps. And so that may be what a family needs, or what has
just put them over the top.
Just put them over the top. Yeah. And it's exciting, because when we send out the award letters to our families, they're so appreciative and they're so thankful, because they know that if we don't have this, we may not be able to do it. And even if it is the $500, it really helps and goes a long way. And that's gratifying for us as a school, because we talk about partnering with families, and we partner with a family in many ways. And one of those ways is financially. And this is a way that we can partner with them so their child can go here. And we don't say, okay, they're only in high school, they're getting this. No, we do have the K4, the K5 students that are receiving Georgia Gold. Their families are. And now it doesn't wipe out the whole thing, but it helps. And that's what we want to do, is we just want to make it affordable.
Yeah, and every little bit does help.
It does.
Speaking of that partnership, Trinity, for about 50 years now, I remember when Trinity opened, so for about 50 years ago, Trinity has been partnering with our community, and this is a good way, in my opinion, that the community can partnership with Trinity. And we were talking off camera a little while ago, and I want to share this, but just like my grandkids go to East Lawrence, and they're in pre-K all the way up to 11th grade. Now, can you believe I'm that old? Yeah, but don't say nothing. But anyway, I talked to my wife about this, we want to partner with Trinity, and it's our state tax dollars. Let me put it to you this way, y'all. Listen close. Had you rather donate this money, is what you're doing, to Trinity to do the things that Jeremy just talked about, or put it in the state coffers and let the politicians do whatever they want to do? And locally, we have a good legislative group and senator, but think about that. And it's a lot better to keep it in our community. Most of us, this listing and us, would rather our tax dollars stay locally. And we need, Trinity's not for everybody, just like public education is not for everybody. And that's good too. You know, it's not a problem. And like you said, it's the way the Lord's leading your family. But we want you to really take a look at this program. You can go to their website, and we've got that on the screen as we're talking here. So grab a pen, piece of paper, whatever, and jot that down. But this program's actually about 15 years old. Our state legislator in 2008 passed this law, and then Governor Sonny Perdue signed it into law. So, and that was back in 2008, which my math's decent, 15 years ago. I'm talking to an educator here, but so it's relatively young, but it's been successful.
It is.
And you're touching a lot of lives with what we're given as and mostly in local, but like your parents you talked about and other people. And there are situations where, and this surprised me, Jeremy, but there's situations where even if you live out of state, and I'm telling you, we track our YouTube channel. Some of you are watching us on YouTube right now, but we've got people all over the country that watch us, probably people used to live here in the military or whatever. But so if we're talking to you right now, you can still be a part of Dublin and Lawrence County, and you could live in Tacoma, Washington. Go to their website there and get all the details to make sure you got it down. But it's a win-win, though, don't you think?
It is. And, you know, like you said, Trinity's been here for 50 years, and we do feel like we're a part of the community, but we also feel like there are those in this community that don't necessarily know what we're about. Yeah. So we're trying to go outside the gates a little bit with some things. We partner with Lawrence Baptist Association with the No Shave November for kids, and give a lot of money to the Joy Medical Clinic. We're looking forward, the kids are really looking forward to that next year. And we're going to maybe expand which ministries we're given to. And we're inviting local pastors onto campus to come and hear about the school and tour the school, because they may have never been here. And we partner with them just like they partner with families. And looking out next year, getting our kids out of Trinity, off the campus, to serve in the community and to do different things in the community. And the goal is that, you know, we're here. We love Dublin. Trinity loves being in Dublin and Lawrence County, and we have over 40 alumni families in our school. So there's a heavy investment in the school. Yes. So we know that it's very good for our kids to get out and serve in the community that we're a part of, and let people know that, hey, you know, while we are the private school on 441, but we're a part of this community just like any other school.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. We could go down a lot of things that we do partner in, but we've only got a small amount of time. But
well, it's my job to sell the school, so I'm going to talk
and I'm
about
helping you right here. I'm all in, brother. I'm going to help you sell. Other ways, and I got to brag on Trinity here, but just like St. Patrick's. We're about to have St. Patrick's. Y'all have always took part in St. Patrick's. We've had the teen...
the youth rally.
Youth rally, thank you. The youth rally here every year, and so many lives have been touched. I can remember 3 or 4 years ago, all of our youth came back to church, and my grandson was a part of it. And he was walking about that high because of how God had moved in that service. And that year, I wish I could throw the name out. If I was more prepared, I would, wouldn't I? But this is impromptu. But there was a wrestler here, or a bodybuilder. That's what it was. There was a bodybuilder here that spoke that year.
Okay.
Gosh, I wish I could say his name, but he was incredible.
Okay.
This guy, you can imagine bodybuilder, athlete come in speaking to young people. He really connected with them. But so we do that every year, and God moves in those services more than we could ever imagine. With my homeless ministry, Paul has brought the boys basketball team with us to feed the homeless. Let me tell you something, Jeremy. Those young men, they didn't just come and move stuff around and load food. They went out with us and they loved these homeless people. They held them. They loved them. They prayed with them. They witnessed to them. And I'm talking about 15, 16-year-old kids here. I'm not talking about grown people.
Sure.
So I have seen, and Paul called me that afternoon. He said, James, thank you for letting us go out with you today. That's the first thing. Second of all, I want you to know it changed their lives. To be able to see, because we sit in our comfortable homes and flip our thermostat up and down and sit in our lazy boy. But there's people living on the streets right here in Dublin and Lawrence County. They're living under the bridges. They're living in the woods. And for these kids to go out and touch these people and, to me, truly be the hands and feet of Christ.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's what's happening. You know, I have people tell me, they say, James, I just pray God could use me some way like that. I always tell them, I said, no. You know, you don't have to pray for God to use you. He wants to use the unusable. You know, He's not looking for ability. He's looking for you to come out and just do. And He'll take you and use you how He wants to. But you know, I say all that to say this, but Trinity always is at the forefront in things that go on in our community. And I know that's one of the reasons it drew you back to Trinity.
Yeah. And we want to continue that. And we know that, again, there may be families in the area that would love to be a part of Trinity, but they may just see it as tuition. And they don't realize that we do have opportunities, even outside of Georgia Gold. We have opportunities. We have ways to help families and partner with families. And that's what we want. We want people to be invested and to come into the school, and when they leave, bring their kids. When they graduate and get married and have kids, we want to bring the kids back, because that's a wonderful thing to see as someone who taught here, to see my former students' children in the school and to see them coming back for a K4, K5 preview day to get ready to start the next generation of their family in Trinity. That's an exciting thing.
Yeah. Go a little deeper in your story, because I feel like, as I was listening to you there, we're kind of filling in the blanks.
Yeah.
But Jeremy is telling this because you were actually here before and came back. But share that story with our viewers.
Well, we were here 2008 to 2010, and just a young teacher and coach, and just, you know, it was a wonderful opportunity. We loved it here, but God just moved us. And I realize now, looking at it now, He moved us to bring us back here, because I don't think I would have ever been in this role, honestly, if I hadn't left. And it was good to grow professionally and be in learn to work with different people and just be somewhere different. And it was a place that we always loved. We always stayed in touch with people here. Mr. Cooey, you know, his son Jay and I are good friends, and I think we always stayed in touch, and we always cared about the school, and we were invested in the school. It just a lot of sweat equity and just, you know, thoughts and cares. It was with the school, and when the opportunity was there to come back, it was a no-brainer, because I mean, we loved it. And you know, the one regret that we have is that our kids are a little bit older than they were when we were here before, and they didn't get to enjoy the full Trinity experience that a lot of kids get. But it's fun. I mean, it's just a fun place to work. To me, it is. Not everybody may say that, but it's fun to me, and it's enjoyable to see people just realize that when they're walking on campus, it's not just punching a clock and going to class or teaching a class. It is a family environment. It is something that the teachers are heavily invested in these students and these families' lives outside of the 50 minutes they have for them in class. And I think that's not everywhere. I know people may say that about their school, but it's not always the case. But we have the environment here that we can do those things, and it's you can get away from it geographically, but it's tough, like with your heart, to be away from the school. But we're just very thankful, obviously, to be back, and we love it here, and we're excited with Georgia Goal, especially because when I was here before, it was still the first couple years, and it wasn't as big as it is now. But we have a lot of people we have over 100 people that contribute to this.
That's incredible.
It is, and it's yearly, and we're getting over. Dawn will go into some specifics, but we get over $500,000 a year in contributions. That now you don't usually get all of that because of the way the state caps it and works it, but you get a good amount, and you can use it toward your families, and that's what we love every year. And of course, and on the real life benefits, there's a tax benefit to that.
That's really good.
but it's something that is there that God can use. God can use in the family and for a student. So.
Well, what I hear you saying about leaving and coming back, God was preparing you for another season.
Yeah, we like to think that. Yeah.
And at the time, you didn't realize that.
No.
But as you look back, hindsight's always a lot more clear.
It is.
But I see that in getting to know you since you've been back. I've told several people, I said, it shows us how sometimes we don't understand what God's doing with us, and that's probably good too, because we probably couldn't take it all.
Yeah.
But He was preparing you. He prepares us all for things later on, and sometimes they're difficult. But yeah, that's a lot of money that's coming in. And listen to me, y'all. Let's be a part of this. The information's right there on the screen. Go to the website. It answers all kind of questions. We're just kind of touching on some of the really good things. The details, get down in the weeds, you'll see. You can have it your deduction from your check. That can change. You can do many things with it. But you have to sign up by December 31st of each year. So now's the time. Go ahead and sign up. Get involved in it. And be a part. Can you imagine, and this is why me and my wife want to be a part of it, but to be able to let someone come to Trinity that otherwise couldn't, and ease that burden. We may not, on this side of heaven, we may not ever know those people.
Yeah.
But to know that they were able to come, and then God can take that and do incredible things.
Yeah.
And you mentioned how much you love coming to work. I love, and I'm in all the schools, and we have wonderful schools here, and we have school choice. But when I stand in your classes and listen to the science teacher, for example, to be able to talk about the universe from a creation standpoint, from a biblical standpoint. And I know other schools, we're limited because of the laws, but it's so cool to stand in there and listen to a science teacher tie it all together. Yeah. And I know you stand in those classes. They might not like you standing in so much as me, maybe, because,
But well, you're not the boss.
No, I'm not the boss. That's right. When the boss is standing there.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah.
But I know that excites you, don't it?
It does, and that's look. I've committed my life to Christian education, just like anybody else commits their life to the job that they're called to do, or they feel that God wants them to do. And it's no different for me than somebody who commits to the medical field or the business world for their life. They feel like that's their calling. I feel like Christian education is something that, as I've gotten older, I've understood that, okay, this is what I'm passionate about and what I care about. And when you're younger, you don't always see that. You just, I want to teach, I want to coach, I want to do these things. But as you get older, like, okay, this really lines up with what I hold true as a worldview. And it doesn't mean there aren't wonderful believers in every walks of life, because there has to be. There should be to minister in society. But this is where I feel that this is my patch of grass that God wants me, is in Christian education. And I would love it if every child came to Trinity Christian School, but that's my job. I want every child, but I know that's not going to be the case. But ultimately, if a parent wants to partner with us, we want to find a way to make it affordable for that family. Yeah. And goal, it goes a long way. Yeah, it really does.
And you mentioned you have other foundations and things to help people, but this is a big part of that.
It is.
And I looked on the website. These are 2022 numbers here, 2021 actually, but in Middle Georgia alone, this past year, 10,992 scholarships just in Middle Georgia. That's incredible, Gold Scholarship. That's a lot of kids. Yeah. And we want more of those coming to Trinity. You see why we're doing this show today. See, we're tying it all together here now. You probably said, I didn't know what James was talking about a while ago, but now the lights kind of come on. But I want to cover a few more things with Jeremy before we bring Dawn in. But let's take a quick break, and we'll come back right after this.
The diesel and automotive technology programs at Oconee Fall Line Technical College are hands-on and can be completed in a year and a half or less. Students gain valuable experience working on state-of-the-art equipment and training aids, and even maintain the college's diesel truck and vehicle fleet, which allows them to see the real-world issues they'll encounter on the job before they graduate. During labs, students are exposed to every part of the automobile or diesel truck and are required to put the theories they've learned in the classroom and during lectures into action. OFTC's diesel program is certified through Daimler Trucks of North America's Get Ahead program, which allows students to add certifications to their resume before entering the workforce. Automotive technology students can also earn entry-level certifications through Automotive Service Excellence. Adding these certifications to their resume before entering the workforce sets OFTC graduates apart when applying for jobs. These programs are flexible and instructors work with students to accomplish their individual goals. Day and some evening class options are available, and the majority of a student's classwork is done online, so time on campus is spent applying knowledge and practicing skills through lab assignments. Careers in the diesel and automotive technician industry are in demand, and the more a technician learns, the more valuable they become to their employer. Opportunities in these fields are endless.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Quality products and installation since 1985. That's Four Seasons.
Good morning, this is Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. I'm standing in a home that we recently renovated for a customer. The kitchen is a very vital part of a home, especially when you get ready to resell or just you like to entertain people. We came in with new granite countertops. We even changed some of the seating areas of it. We refinished all the cabinets, put new doors, new hardware. We can use your existing cabinets. One of the things that we did that changed the look of this kitchen was the lighting that we did. We added a lot of LED spotlights, went from an old oak, gunstock, hardwood floor to a new hickory, random length floor. We can change it from top to bottom. Lots of many pretty things that we've done. Come by and see us at A+ Flooring and Construction at 1801 Rice Avenue in Dublin, Georgia. Or give us a call at 478-676-2662. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, I'm talking with Jeremy Blackstock. He's the headmaster, first year.
Yes, sir.
Wow, first year. And I've already pinned him down a few times to talk to him. But and Mr. Cooley, Rick Johnson, everybody's ever been here has been very accessible to us. And you were talking about being excited about your job every day, but and that's why everybody's always been accessible. Who don't want to come and be the chief cheerleader? For Trinity.
Sure.
And it's an easy sell. I mean,
I think so.
You got an easy job, man. My goodness. Y'all heard that, didn't you? But let's talk a little bit let's drill down some numbers. One thing's always impressed me is about 98% of the graduates here at Trinity go on to college. How close is that number now?
It's 98, 99%. And, you know, we have some that go right into the workforce. And, you know, we really every morning our kids hear that Trinity's job is to train them for what God has for them.
Yes.
And not to have them we're supposed to help them figure it out or get on the path of figuring things out, but you know, they're not going to learn everything they need to know in high school, but they at least can be prepared for the next step, you know, for after graduation. And that's what we want. And you know, that God's going to use them wherever He wants to put them. And I'm as excited about the child that goes to the workforce as the child that goes to Georgia Tech. I'm excited about both because God can really use both of them in a wonderful way, and they can both highlight who Trinity is and what we're about. So yeah, I mean, it's easy in our society to celebrate what colleges our kids are going to, and that's great because our kids are getting into some wonderful schools and they're excelling. Like that's fantastic because God's going to use that.
Yeah.
And the student that goes right into the workforce, and God's going to use them too. They may be just a layperson in their church, or just a vibrant, strong church member, and somebody out in society, and that's exciting for me. Like, because we see them as high school kids, but the big thing is you see the impact you had when you see them with their kids,
Yes.
or you see them with their family. Because if you judge it just on what they're like in high school, you might not. They aggravate you sometimes.
I hope nobody judges me by that.
But then you look at them one day like, all right, they got a family, they got kids, they're in a church, they're
Good
trying,
father.
they're a productive, valuable member of society. And you realize, okay, like, praise the Lord, like that. God really worked and is using them, and that's what's exciting. That's what's exciting to me most about working with kids in a school, is just seeing them when they're done. Like, what has become of their life? What steps are they taking? What are they doing? And that's what excites me, because you could see the growth when you see them every day. Like, you see it over time, but then when they're gone for a while, and then you see them like, okay, there's really been some growth.
Yes.
And that's one of the great things about any school. Anybody that works in education will tell you that. Like, we're excited when we see the former students, and what God's doing in their life, or their families, or what are they doing, just anything that they're doing.
Yeah, and more importantly, that spiritual maturity, because when I give my testimony, I always tell churches I speak at, I said, I am where I'm at today, I mean spiritually, off the backs of my mom and dad's prayers. And that good foundation,
Mm-hmm.
we know we're a product of that early childhood days, but I always love doing graduation every year. We always come out to Trinity as the other schools, and we interview all the graduates. And I always love to hear what their ambitions are. And one that really, you really, he's the son of one of my oldest friends in the world, and I won't say it just because, and some of you are going to put it together anyway, but because I hadn't asked them, but we were doing it a few years ago, and we're going down the list, want to go to Georgia, want to go to Tech, want to go to Georgia Southern, whatever. And we get to this young man, and he says, I want to be a lineman for Georgia Power. And I said, that is so good. You could tell he knew what he wanted to do. Now, fast forward 2 or 3 years, 4 years, whatever it's been, and he is a successful person with this company. And he's sharing Christ with people. And he's not a dad yet or married, but one day he is going to be. Like Jimmy Fields told me the first time I ever interviewed him, I said, Coach Fields, y'all going to have a good year? He said, well, I'll tell you in about 15 years when they become dads and deacons in the church and husbands. And I never had anybody answer that question that way. And it was told so much about Coach Fields. And I thought that was so important, though. What do you say to somebody watching right now? They say, man, I hear what James and Jeremy are saying, and I'd love for my grandson, he starts to pre-K next year, I'd love for him to go get an education like they're talking about. What do you say to that parent or grandparent listening?
Well, number one, give us a chance. My door is open. Dawn Lane, our admissions director, her door is always open. We're here to answer questions and to give you a tour of the campus and just talk to you, hear your concerns, try to clear up any misconceptions you have about the school. That's what we want. We're not hiding anything. We're not a closed book. We're pretty open. We're an open campus. And anytime, we'd love to have a parent come out here, look at our new website, and just go through and just see what we're about. And of course, you can see anything on a website, but we really hope you come here and see what we're about and understand, okay, that there is something different about Trinity. And, I would love to partner with them. I would love to be a part of the Trinity family. And we have 370 students now, and of course, room for plenty of more. And our open enrollment starts March 1st. And we're excited about that. We're excited about the direction that we're going as a school. And we're, again, thankful for Georgia Goal and just how it helps us keep up our mission that so many families 50 years ago had this dream of, that that was without Georgia Goal. That was really without anything, without any net. And they start this school, and they were faithful servants and wanted there to be a Christian school in Dublin. And it's still here. And that's a huge testament to God and to those families that, they probably didn't see down the road. Obviously, they didn't see down the road that there's going to be this essentially statewide tax dollar funded program to help families come to Trinity. And that shows you how it's gone and how God can use that the school that was started 50 years ago has the opportunity to continue for the next 50 or more years with the help of programs like Georgia Goal. And our families, now we're in some of our third generation, our families are here. Like we have first few classes, now their grandchildren are here in our lower elementary. Like that's a huge investment, and people are really invested in the school and care about it to enough that, hey, our grandkids are now in this school, and we want to keep it strong and keep it vibrant.
Yes, and I think back, we had 2 private schools open right around the same time, and obviously we only have one now that survived. But I think back, and I'm from the east side of the river, and Mr. Cleve Warnock was from the east side, and I always like to throw that name because that's God's country over there. Y'all know that, but he was one of the original ones, and I think Warnock's have been a part of this.
So Cleve Warnock, his great grandchildren are here.
And that's the point you were trying to get to, is generation after generation after generation of children being educated, and those men and women that helped on those early days. And I know Mr. Cleve got out there on his hands and knees and helped plant sod on the football field and help put block down and different things. And if they could only see this campus now. The sprawling campus from just as far as the eye can see, really, as I look over your shoulder back there at soccer field and softball and baseball, and on the other side here, that beautiful Cleve Warnock Field. And so many people for so many years have been a part of it. And people now that are watching can be a part of the rest of the history, we hope, as far out as we can see.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we want with this Gold program, y'all. We want you to be a part of it. Y'all know, I mentioned a while ago, most of you know me anyway. My children go to the east side, grandchildren. But we want to be a part of this Gold program at Trinity to help children get that, and you said it a while ago, get them up maybe to that next level, because they're so close a lot of times, just can't cross over the hurdle. But to be able to get them in pre-K and then kindergarten and go right on K through 12. And I know that's what you want. What is and I'm going to drag this question out and let you think of the answer, but in just one thing, when you talk to parents or grandparents, what is the main thing you want people to know about their child's education at Trinity?
That it will be rooted in God's Word. And we're not perfect. By no means are we perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but the goal is that the focus of the education here is different. The focus is Scripture. The focus is on God's Word. It doesn't mean we're not teaching math, we're not teaching English. We're teaching those things because our kids are going to schools and we're preparing them for those things. But it's the base, the core of everything that we do, the philosophy of everything that we do is God's Word, is truth. We say teaching the truth. And that, for us, it's not just Bible class, it's not just chapel. As soon as you turn on Trinity Road until you leave, everything we do should be rooted in that. And that's what a Christian school should be. It's not just boiled down to that one Bible class and that one day a week chapel. It should be every single thing about this place should be rooted in God's Word and in Scripture, and we don't compartmentalize it. Like it's part of our DNA of who we are. And we'll prepare your child academically, but we are going to hold to God's Word. We're going to teach them the truth and prepare them for where God has them.
Yeah, that is so good. What's the most fun about your job?
Well, I love going down to see the lower elementary kids because they're always excited. They're always happy. It doesn't matter. They're not old enough.
No bad days.
They're not old enough to see me as the bad guy yet. They're like cracking down on dress code or just stuff like that. But honestly, just getting to know the kids and watching teachers work, because I'm not necessarily in the classroom all the time with them, but just getting to see teachers get excited working with kids and just seeing kids grow. And there's a lot of things that can be difficult about this job, about being a head of school, but everything else, it's just you're working with kids. Like, you got to have a sense of humor, and you have to want to have fun. Like, you can't, if you walk in just looking for the negative, that all the bad things are going. You're going to make yourself miserable. That's any job.
That's right.
But just seeing those things, seeing kids excited to be here, the younger kids excited to be here, and seeing our teachers heavily invested, really even outside of 8 to 3, like heavily invested after school with these kids, or seeing them at games when they don't even have kids that are playing, but they're there to watch their students. Now, again, that goes on everywhere. That's not just unique to here, but those are the environment are the things that make this job the most enjoyable.
What's the hardest thing about your job?
The hardest thing about the job is watching a student or a family hurt about anything, because it's part of life, things happen, and you have to make decisions in this job that sometimes cause a little bit of pain. But I'm a dad, so those things are hard to see, but you boil it down to, we're doing this because we love this student and this family. Like it doesn't mean we don't love you. This is the exact opposite. We're holding you accountable because we love you, and we know you're going to be a father or a mother one day, and you might not realize it now, but one day you're going to be thankful that there was a time in your life that people were holding you accountable. Yeah. And that's probably the toughest thing, is just seeing a family go through hurt and pain, and just it's part of it, but it'll pass, and it'll be okay. But that's probably the toughest thing.
And I was out here, and I watched the Trinity family go through that when we lost Coach Fields. And I sit right here in these chairs, or two that look like it, when my last interview with Coach Fields. And I told anybody that knows TV, we usually use a 2 or 3 camera shoot. And I called my brother on the way out. I said, Ronnie, I am so glad we had 2 cameras on us today, because when Coach Fields, his testimony was so rooted in Christ, and so he lived his life for Christ, and he was going to get his reward. And we sit here, and I'm telling you, and that other camera, they had to use the other camera on him because tears were just rolling down my face. 2 phase, one because I know what was happening and the suffering he was going through, but yet his attitude and what he taught the kids here and the staff and us, the community. But I watched Trinity go through a tough time, and then the funeral was out on the football field. But those are the kind of times that you wish you could rescue them from the hurt.
Yeah.
But yet we have to go through those things, don't we?
Yeah, and if you're a believer and you hold to God's word, Coach Fields won.
Yeah.
Like he's healed. And you pray for healing, and he got healing.
God healed him.
That our version of healing is often different than God's version of healing. So I'm thankful for that Jimmy was healed. Like his prayers were answered. Like he was healed, but the impact he's had on families here, it continues, and I think it'll always be here. Which again, is one of the other wonderful things, many wonderful things about Trinity, is like that. There's a lasting impact, and there's a lot of kids that still feel it, but there is healing, like just here on earth, and there's comfort. It doesn't make it easy, but there is comfort. And I know over time, obviously there'll be separation where kids that really knew Coach Fields, but his impact on the school, I don't think we'll ever let even the younger generation that didn't really know him or get coached by him, we're not going to let them forget the impact that he had.
Yeah, and you should not.
No.
So we've been talking about the goals program, and as each time Jeremy and I talk, we chase a lot of rabbits down. But I wanted to cover a few things today. But I'm telling you, if you're thinking that you would love your children or grandchildren to come to Trinity, I urge you today to come out and just tour the facility. You've heard the invitation from Jeremy, but just come out, because what you see is what you get. I'm telling you, because I'm out here a lot at Trinity, and the attitude from the teachers, the administration, the kids, you can just see it when people. You can't fake some things, and when you got that spring in your step, that's something that's not being faked. But you see that on the campus at Trinity. So we urge you to come out, and we're going to take a break, and I'm going to bring Dawn in. We're going to talk a little more depth about the gold program, but we want you to to be a part of this program. Now, if you're just tuning in and you say, what the heck's James talking about? Check us out on YouTube. TV35 WDIG is our YouTube channel. We'll play this show again, but go on YouTube, watch it as slow or fast or as much as you want to watch it, and then listen to the details. So but we urge you to come out and be a part of this program. Jeremy, always good to talk with you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Y'all stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Whether you're a Braves fan or a Dogs fan, it feels good to be a winner. I'm Don Carswell, and you'll have fun with a winning deal from Dublin Chevy Nissan. Come and see our championship selection of new and pre-owned trucks here at Dublin Chevy Nissan. Titan or Frontier, it's your choice. Sierra or Silverado, you're the winner. For the W, all you have to do is call, click, or come in. And remember, Don sells cars well, only at Dublin Chevy Nissan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Avery. I just want to say how excited I am to have the opportunity to work here at Central Georgia Primary Care. I'm just a stone's throw away from where I was previously. Right next to Paul's Tire. You can call to get an appointment at that phone number, or you can come by and we'll be more than happy to get you scheduled.
This moment in Black history is brought to you by Dublin Ford. Today we honor Samuel Moore, who along with his brother Warren McClendon Jr. purchased and organized the very first school bus transportation system in Dublin. A bus driver during the time of the Saxon Street School fire in 1975, Moore saw the principal attempting to escape the blaze of the fire through a window of the school. He rushed to the aid of the principal and helped her escape the fire. Samuel Moore continued to own and operate several buses from 1953 to 2015. And in 2020, the City of Dublin honored and commemorated Mr. Samuel Moore Sr. for his heroic efforts during the 1979 fire by renaming Grady Street, which ran from Telfair to Smith, to the Samuel Moore Sr. Street. Today we honor Mr. Samuel Moore, and this Black History moment is brought to you by Dublin Ford.
Looks like you got some new vehicles in.
Yeah, but this chip shortage isn't going away anytime soon. Our friends need to know that if they order their vehicle from Dublin Ford Lincoln, the factory puts that order to the front of the line.
I wish someone would solve this chip problem.
We got chips now! Daddy's gonna be so proud.
I'm gonna need a bigger pantry.
Problem solved.
Welcome back, everybody. As promised, Dawn Lane. She's the better part of this show between me, Jeremy, and her. So I got to know Dawn last year. I actually told her a funny story a while ago off camera, but I figured I'd throw it in now just so everybody knows. But I'd actually saw Dawn a few years ago. You was touring the campus. I remember asking Mr. Cooley, I said, who is that with all them kids? He said, well, they're looking at the school, and obviously you liked the look.
Oh yeah, we did. The tour is what did it for us.
So what, on a serious note, what did draw you to Trinity?
The family atmosphere. We homeschooled before we came to Trinity, and for those of you that don't know, we have 6 children here, and so I had gotten to the point where I could not do it anymore. I was like, I'm trying to teach long division, one how to read, one how to write, and the other 3 I'm trying to keep from having to call poison control or something, you know? And so I was like, I called my husband one day, I said, we have got to do something different. I was like, I can't keep doing it, like being a teacher for all of them. And so we called, and at the time I spoke with Miss Pam Horn, and she was so very kind, and she set up the tour, and we came out and toured the school, and we actually toured in October. And it was so funny because soon after that, our 3 older children, they actually did like a shadow day here. And when we picked them up that afternoon, it was like in November, and they were like, can we start in January? Like they wanted to start in January.
That's so good.
But we decided, that we would start in August. That way they could get the full, thing. But we've just been happy ever since. We love it here, the family atmosphere, everyone knows everyone, and they were new. They came in, my oldest was in 5th grade at the time, and then I had one in 3rd and one in 2nd, and they just came in and felt like part of the family. So
It's easy though. You was behind the camera a while ago as Jeremy and I talked, and each time I'd kind of look over, you're nodding your head,
Yes.
affirmative, but it is so true. It's not just something I'm saying on TV. Anybody
Right.
knows me knows I don't just say anything. I speak from the heart no matter what I'm doing, but it is, and I really mean this. I don't care where you send your kids to school in Lawrence County, you're going to come out a winner, because I believe that the more you invest in your child's learning, the better student they're going to be. It's
That's
just a
right.
proven fact. But Dawn, we're going to talk about the goals program. Dawn is also director of admissions. Before we get into the meat of this, you mentioned you brought your kids in to let them shadow. Tell us how somebody watching right now can do that.
yeah, so on Tuesdays we actually have, I give tours on Tuesday, so any family can come, and then also they can set up a day if they would like for their child to shadow the school and just be able to experience what a school day is like.
Okay, you actually went in and signed up for goals. And was it hard or easy?
It was very easy. So I'm the director of admissions and development here, and so I told my husband, I said, we're going to have to do, the Georgia Goal tax credit, because I want to actually be able to do it so that way I can explain to people the process. It was super easy. I went online. I mean, seriously, you can probably fill it out in 2 minutes or less. And then you hit the submit button, and there is a misconception, like for married filing jointly, the max you can do is like $2,500, but you can do any amount. You don't have to do up to $2,500.
Okay.
You can do any amount under that if you just want to see how how it works the first time. And so I did it. And the funny thing is that I did it for 2021. And so we were just completing our taxes this year. And I told my husband, I was like, I remember I did that, Georgia tax, let me put it in and see. And sure enough, I put it in and bam, we got 100% tax credit.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah.
So explain to me and the viewers here, but how, like an individual or business or LLC or different corporations, how does that work, and what's the max you can do?
Yes. So for an individual, filing single individual, the max is $1,000, and then married filing jointly is $2,500. But if you're married and you're filing separately, it's like $1,250, so half of $2,500. And then also this year for 2022, they have actually increased the amount that S Corps can give. The max used to be $10,000, but now they can actually, the House passed a bill, I think it was like Bill 149, and they can actually do 75% of their taxable income for, the S Corps, and just like the C Corps. So now they can actually do 75%.
Boy, that adds up.
Yes, it does. And so used to, when I first got this job, people would just wait until the end of the year, see how they're going to do, and then, take the tax credit. Well, now because we never hit our cap, it was always like 100 million is the cap. Well, this year was the first year, 2021, that we hit the cap. Before December, the cap was hit. And we are already at 78 million for 2022. So if you haven't already taken the tax credit, you need to do it now.
Because you got to realize this is not a government program. This is not. It really don't have anything to do with the state other than the money that you would send to the Department of Revenue on behalf of your taxes or whatever, state of Georgia. But this goes into, it's called a gold scholarship.
That's right.
And if you have questions that we don't cover here today, if you'll just go, and we're putting it on the screen up and down, so write it down, but goldscholarship.org, goldscholarship.org. there's a pile of information. I used it to prepare for this interview, and I learned all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way I can talk about everything that I studied on there the last few days, but and I know I'm getting a little personal here with you, but when y'all started the school here, you was actually a beneficiary of this, wasn't you?
That I was. We, so I am a nurse, but like I said, we have 6 children, and at the time we were only bringing in 3, and we thought, like, I'm a nurse, my husband makes good money, but we still were eligible for an amount.
Well, with all them kids.
I know, like, I was like, you know, it is a little steep when you start adding, you know, the extra children, because we were thinking, like, yeah, we may be able to afford it for 3, but we were thinking, you know, we have 3 more to come down the line, so we didn't want to give the older 3 something that we couldn't give to the younger 3.
Right. Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure we're clear on this, because I made the comment to Jeremy a while ago. This is our due diligence here, transparency, but. You know, I said the deadline's December 31st, but if it was that 100 million cap got hit last year, what you're saying is we need to go ahead, whoever wants to be involved in it needs to go ahead and do it.
Right. When I first came on board at Trinity, that was the hardest thing for me to wrap my brain around. When I'm trying to go out to get people to do the goal scholarship, like contributors, I have to tell them that we're actually, like, because, okay, take for instance this past school year, August 2021. I am trying to get contributors for the goal 2022. And so it took me the longest time to try to wrap my brain around it, but the whole thing is we work a whole year in advance. And then once you submit your application online to reserve your amount, then in about 2 weeks you'll find out if that amount's been approved, and you'll just kind of hang out for a while until January. And then in January, they will send you an email and you'll have 60 days to submit the payment. So like me, we did ours in August 2020. But we did not have to pay anything until March 2021. So although you are working a year ahead, you still don't pay until that tax year. So that a lot of people just have to explain it. Almost have to write it down on a piece of paper, like a timeline.
That's right. Well, you got to get the detail. It's really not that complicated once you learn it.
No, it's not.
Now, anything new, you know, we get scared of sometimes. I mean, that's kind of human nature. But let's take a quick break. I've got some things we want to kind of tie up before we wrap up. But stay with us. We'll be back right after this. At Lakes Alignment, we would like to take this time to thank our community for your support over the last 66 years, and especially these last few months with the opening of our brand new truck center. When you drive into Lakes Alignment, you get master trained technicians like Anthony Penny. Everybody calls him Bug, but it means so much to us. And on behalf of Neil Harden, Lisa, our staff, and the entire Lake family, we thank you for supporting us since 1954. Come see us today. We open every morning at 8 o'clock, and now our truck center is open on Saturday to serve your big trucks and equipment from 8 until 12. At Lakes Alignment, we thank you and this entire community, and will continue to serve you with the best trained staff and friendly, courteous service. Lakes Alignment. Hometown people serving hometown people. Come see us today, 104 Johnson Street, East Dublin. From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
When your ability to get up out of a chair, stand, walk, and do routine activities without hurting every day, having to take Tylenol, Motrin, or leave to get through the day, then it's time to come see us. Again, if you're avoiding activities, you're not going to do things with your friends or your family or your children, then you should not let it impact your life like that. We have things from medications to injections to surgery. A lot of people, I think, are scared to come see us initially because they're not ready for surgery. 85% of the people that I see in my office, I'm treating with something other than surgery. It's that small group of people at the end of their disease that are getting knee and hip replacements. So don't be afraid at least to come and let us check it for you.
Welcome back, everybody. Continuing my conversation with Dawn Lane. She's the Director of Admissions here, amongst other hats that she wears along the way. I never know what hat you might be wearing. Proverbial hat, I mean. But, you know, I want to ask this before we get any further. Now, I know in what I call the old days, my grandkids want me to tell them about the old days, but you know, everything was pencil and paper, so to speak. You had to come into Trinity or wherever, East Lawrence, whatever, and fill out an application, give it to the secretary, whatever, and go through the process. Y'all have pretty well streamlined that, hadn't you?
We have, because like you said, I do wear so many hats that we had to
make it easier.
We had to make it a little easier. So I am a hard worker, but I like to work smart.
Amen.
So now you can actually go online to our website, which is tcsweb.org, and you can go under the admissions tab and actually apply online. And you fill out all the paperwork online. You can even upload like the documents that we need if you're applying, such as your birth certificate, Social Security card, any of those things. You can actually submit your application fee online, the $50, and then once you do that, then if you are interested in this Gold Scholarship program for maybe your child or your grandchild, then you could reach out to me. My email is on the webpage, and we can actually send you the financial aid application, and we can kind of see with your reward, is it within your budget before you fully commit to TCS.
Smart.
Yeah, so we try to, you know, we like to say that, you know, we're a Christian school, and we know it's all about Jesus and the gospel here. You and Mr. Blackstock already talked about how the gospel is just integrated in everything that we do here at Trinity. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not just about a Bible class or chapel, you know, it's everywhere. It's about character building, it's everything. Yeah. And so for me, I like to tell my children that, you know, the gospel Jesus is free to us, his free gift of salvation. But because he has given his, you know, God gave his son to us, that demands a response. Like when you've been given such a big gift as your salvation and to know what he did for us, then that's going to demand some kind of response. So for us at the school, this is one of our ways that we are trying to be generous back to the community to be able to allow their children to come to Trinity.
Yeah, and to much is given, much is expected.
That's right.
So
yeah, and then the flip side of that is I'm you know, calling all the Christians out that if you're a Christian and you know, the gospel demands a response. So, and this is just an easy way. This is, I mean, this is a 100% tax credit that you can take, and you can actually, whatever you are giving to Trinity, you know, to the Trinity Christian School, then you can in return get that tax or credit right back.
Yeah, it is so well done, and they make it easy for you. You may think, listen to this, say, man, that's hard. I don't know if I want to do that, but she can make it easy.
Yeah.
And the numbers are up and down on the screen. You can call the school, ask for Dawn, and she can lay it out and make it easy on you.
That's right.
But what is so exciting to me is to know that instead of giving it to a bunch of politicians, which some of those I love, some of them waste our money, but instead of letting them waste your money, you can keep it right here in the community. That really excites me personally.
Me too, because I mean, that's how I got my husband on board. I was like, listen, I mean, you know, our tax dollars, it could be going to fill a pothole in Atlanta that we don't ever drive hardly. I was like, or we can allocate our tax money to go to Trinity and we can help families like how we were helped in the beginning. Yeah,
it's a no-brainer to me, there's no doubt. I remember last year you went to a conference on the GOLD program.
That's right.
And you heard some different testimonies. I hate to use the word story, but you know, they were true. But share one of those with us. I'd just like to know how it's touched people.
Yes, so I was invited to the GOLD to a GOLD conference, and it was kind of just, we had a lot of politicians there, and it was to just let them know how, you know, this program is changing lives. Like, it's taking people that were normally in like a poverty setting, and it's allowing them the opportunity to get things that maybe they wouldn't have been able to receive. One family stood out to me, and it was actually an older man. His daughter graduated, I think, back in like 2010, 2011. But so they had been going to this private school in Macon, and he was a businessman, and things got tough. It was like the crack, you know, when all the businesses were hit, and he lost his business. That meant, he said, he watched his checking account go from a certain amount to like negative in one day. And it was terrible. And he was like, he didn't know what he was going to do, how he was going to continue to allow his daughter to be able to go to the private school. And the GOLD just made it possible for his family. And I mean, and I know there are good families out there that work hard and, you know, try to do all the things right. But then life happens. But this is just a way that, you know, that man, he was like, it was just God's grace.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you know, as I was studying for this interview, I read where the average scholarship in 2020 was $4,000. Around my house, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is.
Ours too.
Yeah, it is a lot of money.
Yes.
So think about that. So you look at the cost of the education, and when I talk about an average, you know, it might have been more, might have been less, but an average of $4,000 for tens of thousands of students in the state of Georgia. I think it's incredible to be able to be a part of this, and talking to people, which I have in years past, that are already a part of it. They carry it with a sense of pride. And some of them don't even have kids. I know one gentleman, his kids live in Florida. They were educated in Florida, and he moved here later. Him and his wife are involved in the GOLD program, and they're Christian people. And
that's right.
Like you mentioned a while ago, that's why this man and woman want to be a part of it.
We have business. One business in particular that is not from around the Trinity area, but one of our families actually knows them. They're from the Statesboro area, and he does a lot for the GOLD scholarship with his business, you know. And like you said, to much has been given. To,
much is expected.
That's right.
And you talked about individuals, corporations a while ago, but over half of the money that's given to the scholarship program comes from people like us, just individuals.
That's right.
Or families, but you know, not corporations.
Right.
So the individuals are making the difference in this because they see it making a difference in other lives, like the man you just shared the story.
Yes.
That is so good to know that we, the taxpayers of Georgia, could be a part of this man relieving such a heavy burden.
That's right.
And as Christians, that's what we should be doing.
And there was actually the other story or testimony of the one was a student. He was from not the best side of town in Macon, and he was able to actually come on board and he like set all these records in sports and in academics. Like he came in and just flourished in the environment that he was put in. And then he is now a teacher there at that school. So he went, got his degree, and then come back, and he's doing, changing lives.
Yeah, that is so, the numbers are phenomenal. I mean, I was looking here, since 2008, since it started, over $200 billion in 15 years. That's with a B.
Yeah.
Has come into this gold program.
Yes.
And it's just, it's so good. And y'all, please just think about this. Call Dawn, go on the website. You've been seeing it pop up and down. If you're just joining us, go on our YouTube channel, look at the show again in its entirety, and listen to what we're talking about, because a lot of times you hear, if it's too good to be true, you better run away from it.
Right.
But this is one of those things that it is true, and it's such a good thing that Governor Perdue and our legislature back in 2008 signed this into law, because they were hearing from people all over the state that were sending their kids to private schools and still paying these taxes into the state of Georgia coffers. And through this gold program, we all, not just people that send their kids to private school, but we all can be a part. As Jeremy and I mentioned a while ago, you heard Trinity has been such a community partner for 50 years, supporting this community. And the community supporting Trinity too now. It's a two-way street.
That's right.
But these are the reasons why people like us want to do this and participate.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we hadn't talked about that you think we need to come out before we close?
I can't think of anything offhand. The only thing, I will just reiterate, is that when I am explaining it, it does seem a little complicated, but it's not. I mean, it literally took me 2 minutes to fill out online, and then I sent a check in the following March. It was easy peasy. Yeah. And I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, you can call the school, you can email me. My email address is on the website. I'll be happy to help you.
Make it easy.
Yeah.
And now, I might have to warn you, if you come out here, there's a lane at every corner. I'm telling you that. Any corner you go around, there's a lane running around somewhere. It might not be Dawn, but it's a lane somewhere. So,
yeah.
But anyway, I know you're excited since y'all did join the Trinity family. And,
yes.
You dove in, been a big part of the success here, and with Jeremy coming this year, anytime you have a new leader, you have new ideas, and everybody's bought in on it out here.
That's right.
So that's what's wonderful about it.
The ship is all going the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Georgia Gold Scholarship Program. It's a wonderful program, and I hope we have explained it as simple as we could. And if we didn't, call Dawn, go on the website. You see it there on the screen, and get the answers for yourself. But Dawn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank Jeremy. I want to thank him for being a part of the show today. And we want to thank you for joining us today on TV 35.
Here at Stepping Stone, you are never alone. If you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, please call our fully confidential crisis number at 478-595-8339.
Good morning, Dublin and Lawrence County. My name is Richard Nesbitt, and this is Fran Wells, and we're here at the Oconee Gym and Football Field, the home of the mighty Trojans. We are here to let you know we are kicking off the Black History Festival with a health fair. I'm going to turn it over to Fran, and she's going to give you more details.
We're here at the Oconee Gym to start out our Black History Month and celebration of the year. Our first event will be held February 12, 2022 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will be a health fair symposium. We're asking everyone to come out and take part of this great event. We'll be talking about your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your home health. We will have a healthy, fun weekend Please come out and be with us along with Dr. Jerry Daniels, Mental Health, Dublin Fire Department, Shakima Lane Bibbins, nurse practitioner at the VA Hospital, Attorney Vernon Smith, Dudley Funeral Home, Healthy Start, Habitat for Humanity, Wings, Pearson's Personal Home Health Care, a jazz class, and South Central Health District, and many, many more. And we will be serving light refreshments. Yes, we have it all in store for you, so come on out, take part of this great event, and it's for everyone of Dublin, Lawrence County. We look forward to seeing you in this event and all other events during the year. Thank you.